SportsNOLA.com. Lenny Vangilder outside the Garden District Bookshop with our good friend Bill Hancock, Executive Director of the College Football Playoff. But, Bill, you're playing author this week in the process of a tour on the re-release of your book from 10 years ago, Riding with the Blue Moth, which is, I guess, an inspirational story to some in helping people deal with grief. Just the nutshell story of what it's about.
Yeah, the nutshell story is our son was killed in a plane crash. Oklahoma State University basketball team. He was their PR person. And, we were just obviously devastated. But after 2 or 3 months, it occurred to me that I needed to get back to normal and live again. And normal for me was outdoors. And I told my wife I'd like to try an adventure. I'd like to try to ride my bicycle across the country. And she said, okay, let's do it. And we made it. And the book is a story of the grief and the bike ride and how the two intertwined.
Or do you find yourself reliving things a little bit, maybe too much with the re-release of this? Or is it a situation now that even 14 years later you still do the same thing every day?
Oh, anyone in grief knows that it never goes away totally, but things get better. And for me, the book, writing the book the first time was very hard, brought back a lot of memories. I first wrote it without a lot of the pain in it. And I had an editor at the time who said, Bill, you have to tell the whole story. Tell the pain. And so I went back and redid it, put the part in there, told about the night, how we found out, and just everything about the hard part at first. But then when I began to re-edit it for this re-release, I had to go through it all again. So it was hard, but the good thing about the book is that it's helping people to know that they're not alone and that they can indeed cope and survive. Indeed.
Obviously a lot on your plate right now other than this book release. The news last week that the bids that have been submitted for the next round of the College Football Playoff Championship games for 2018, 19, and 20. Of course, of interest here, New Orleans has indeed bid for 2019 and 2020. Are you surprised at all by the response that you've gotten for these next round of championship games?
We're delighted with the response we've gotten. People realize what a tremendous event this will be for their communities in many ways, economically, of course, but also in the pride that the community can take in hosting a big event. So we're just delighted with the interest among cities. It's going to be a very competitive process, and obviously we're delighted that New Orleans is right there in the mix.
This event, with the first year now completed, the College Football Playoff, the events that you've been involved with before are all well-established events, from the Final Four to the BCS, but really building this from the ground up, do you take a different sense of pride in how this came off this year, and that you basically, built this event from the ground floor to what it was in Dallas in January?
I'll tell you, Lenny, it was an opportunity of a lifetime to start an iconic sporting event from scratch and be involved with it from its birth. So that night when we kicked off down in Dallas was a remarkable time for all of us who had been a part of it. We're proud of it, and we're looking forward to watching it grow in the future.
As we are in New Orleans too. So let's before we say goodbye, let's tell the folks how they can find the book. Of course, they can come over to Garden District Bookshop or any of the other bookstores, I guess, in the New Orleans area, and find the re-released in paperback version of Riding with the Blue Moth. I'm sure you have the availability online as well.
Yeah, indeed. The Garden District Books is such a beautiful place, such a wonderful place. I can hang out in there for about 8 hours. So come down and buy the book. But if you can't get there, any of your bookstores can get it for you, and it's also available online.
Bill Hancock, Executive Director of the College Football Playoff. Best of luck with the re-release of the book and with the whole process of another round of the College Football Playoff coming up this fall.
Thank you, my friend. Always good to see you.